Hi everyone, welcome back. Have you ever felt like your life was full of problems? Maybe you had trouble at work. Maybe you argued with someone you love. Maybe you felt worried about money, your future, or your English. Sometimes, problems seem so big that we do not know what to do next. But here is something important to remember. Everyone has problems. No one lives a life without challenges. The difference is not the number of problems people have. The difference is how they respond to them. Imagine two people standing in front of the same mountain. The first person says, "It's impossible. I'll never get over it." The second person says, "It's difficult, but I'll find a way." Both people see the same mountain, but only one begins the journey. Life works the same way. Every problem gives you two choices. You can let it stop you, or you can let it teach you. Many of the strongest, wisest, and most successful people did not have easy lives. They became stronger because they learned how to solve problems instead of running away from them. Every challenge taught them something valuable. Every mistake helped them grow. Every setback prepared them for a better future. The same can be true for you. No matter what problem you are facing today, remember that it will not last forever. Every problem has a solution. Sometimes the solution is easy. Sometimes it takes patience. Sometimes it begins by changing the way you think. In today's lesson, you will learn 5 simple principles that can help you solve problems with a calm mind and a positive attitude. These lessons will not only improve your English, but also help you become more confident, more resilient, and better prepared for life's challenges. Remember this one powerful truth. Every problem is an opportunity to become a stronger person. So, do not be afraid of the challenges in front of you. Face them, learn from them, grow through them, because every problem you solve today is preparing you for a better tomorrow. Principle 1. Stay calm before you act. When a problem appears, many people react immediately. They become angry, they become afraid, they begin to worry. Sometimes they make quick decisions that only create new problems. That is why the first step in solving any problem is simple. Stay calm. A calm mind can see things clearly. A worried mind often sees only fear. Imagine driving a car in heavy rain. If you panic, you may lose control. But if you slow down, stay focused, and watch the road carefully, you're much more likely to arrive safely. Life is often the same. The bigger the problem, the more important it is to stay calm. Think about a doctor in an emergency room. Patients need help immediately. If the doctor becomes nervous and confused, mistakes can happen. Instead, the doctor stays calm, looks at the facts, and decides what to do first. That is why people trust doctors during difficult moments. You can learn to think the same way. Whenever you face a problem, do not ask, "Why is this happening to me?" Instead, ask, "What is the best thing I can do right now?" This simple question changes your attention. Instead of feeling helpless, you begin looking for solutions. Another helpful habit is to pause before reacting. Take a slow, deep breath. Give yourself a few moments to think. Those few seconds can prevent words or actions that you may regret later. Remember, emotions are temporary, but your decisions can affect your future for a long time. This is also true when learning English. Many learners become frustrated after making mistakes. Some stop speaking because they feel embarrassed. But mistakes are not the real problem. Giving up is stay calm, correct the mistake, learn from it, then continue. Every mistake is another step toward improvement. Life will always bring unexpected challenges. You cannot control every situation, but you can control your response. And that is where your true strength begins. A calm person is not someone without problems. A calm person is someone who refuses to let problems control their mind. When you learn to stay calm, you stop reacting with fear. You begin thinking with wisdom. And once your mind is calm, you are ready for the next step. Understanding the real problem instead of only seeing what appears on the surface. Principle 2. Understand the real problem. Many people try to solve a problem too quickly. They see what is happening on the surface, but they never ask why it happened. As a result, the same problem comes back again and again. Imagine you have a headache. You take some medicine. The pain goes away for a few hours, but if the real cause is stress, lack of sleep, or dehydration, the headache may return. The medicine treated the symptom. It did not solve the real problem. Life is often the same. Sometimes what you see is only the surface. The real problem is hidden underneath. That is why you should slow down and ask questions. Instead of saying, "What happened?" ask, "Why did this happen?" Then ask the same question again and again. Each answer brings you closer to the real cause. Imagine you are learning English. You say, "My English isn't improving." That sounds like the problem. But is it really? Maybe you are not practicing every day. Maybe you study without reviewing. Maybe you spend more time watching videos than speaking. Maybe you are afraid of making mistakes. The real problem is often different from what you first believe. Once you understand the true cause, finding a solution becomes much easier. The same idea works in everyday life. If you're always late, the real problem may not be traffic. Maybe you leave home too late. If you keep spending too much money, the real problem may not be your income. Maybe it is your daily habits. When you solve the real problem, many smaller problems disappear as well. Another helpful habit is to focus on facts, not assumptions. Do not guess. Observe. Listen carefully. Ask questions. Sometimes people misunderstand each other simply because they never take time to understand the situation. A few honest questions can prevent many unnecessary arguments. Remember, wise people do not rush to find answers. They first make sure they understand the problem, because a correct solution starts with a correct understanding. Before you try to fix anything, take a moment and ask yourself, am I solving the real problem or only the symptom? That one question can save you time, energy, and frustration. The better you understand a problem, the easier it becomes to solve. And once you clearly see the real problem, you are ready for the next step, putting your energy into finding solutions instead of wasting it on complaints. Principle 3. Focus on solutions, not complaints. When something goes wrong, it is easy to complain. You may complain about your job, your family, your health, your English, or the problems around you. Complaining may make you feel better for a few minutes, but it rarely makes the situation better. Think about standing in the rain. You can spend all your time complaining that it is raining. Or you can open an umbrella and keep walking. The rain does not stop because you complain, but your attitude changes what happens next. Life works the same way. Every problem gives you two choices. You can spend your energy asking, "Why is this happening?" Or you can ask, "What can I do about it?" The second question always moves you forward. Imagine you fail an English test. One person says, "The test was too difficult. I'm just not good at English." Then he gives up. Another person says, "I need more listening practice. I need to learn more vocabulary." The first person looks for excuses. The second person looks for solutions. One stays where he is. The other keeps improving. This simple difference changes everything. Successful people do not ignore problems. They simply refuse to stay trapped in them. They accept reality. Then they take the next small step. Sometimes the solution is not perfect. Sometimes it is only a small improvement. But one small step is always better than standing still. If you have a difficult conversation, speak honestly and respectfully. If you make a mistake, admit it and learn from it. If you do not know something, ask for help. These actions may seem simple, but they solve more problems than endless complaining ever will. Another important lesson is this: do not waste your energy on things you cannot control. You cannot control the weather. You cannot control the past. You cannot control other people's choices. But you can control your attitude. You can control your effort. And you can control the next decision you make. That is where your real power begins. Every time you focus on a solution instead of a complaint, you become stronger. You become calmer. You become more confident. Little by little, you train your mind to look for possibilities instead of obstacles. Remember, every problem asks you one important question. Will you complain or will you grow? Choose growth. Choose action. Choose solutions. Because the people who change their lives are not the ones with the fewest problems. They are the ones who keep looking for the next step forward. And once you begin focusing on solutions, you will discover that every problem also carries a valuable lesson waiting to be learned. Principle 4. Learn from every problem. Every problem has something to teach you. The question is, will you learn the lesson? Many people see problems as punishment. They ask, "Why is this happening to me?" But successful people ask a different question. What can this problem teach me? That one question changes everything. Imagine a child learning to ride a bicycle. The child falls, gets up, falls again, gets up again. Every fall teaches better balance. Every mistake teaches a new skill. Without those falls, the child would never learn to ride. Life works the same way. Your mistakes are not the end of your journey. They are part of your education. Think about learning English. Maybe you forget a word during a conversation. Maybe you pronounce a sentence incorrectly. Maybe you do not understand everything you hear. That does not mean you are failing. It means your brain is learning. Every mistake shows you what to practice next. If you never make mistakes, you're probably not challenging yourself enough. The same lesson applies to everyday life. Perhaps you trusted the wrong person. Perhaps you spent money without thinking. Perhaps you missed a good opportunity. Those experiences may be painful, but they can also make you wiser. A mistake becomes valuable when you learn from it. Otherwise, it becomes a habit. That is why reflection is so important. After every challenge, ask yourself, what did I learn? Maybe you learned to be more patient. Maybe you learned to prepare better. Maybe you learned to listen more carefully. Even difficult experiences can become valuable teachers. Another important lesson is this: Do not be ashamed of your failures. Everyone fails. The difference is what happens next. Some people let failure stop them. Others let failure improve them. The second group continues to grow because they see every problem as a chance to become stronger. Remember, life is always teaching you, sometimes through success, sometimes through struggle. Both are valuable. Success shows you what works. Problems show you what needs to change. If you are willing to learn from both, you will continue growing for the rest of your life. One day, you may even look back and realize that your biggest problems became your greatest teachers. They made you stronger. They made you wiser. They made you the person you are today. And once you begin learning from every problem, you are ready for the final step, turning those problems into opportunities for a better future. Principle 5. Turn problems into opportunities. Most people see problems as roadblocks. They believe problems only make life harder. But successful people often see something different. They see opportunities. This does not mean they enjoy problems. It means they believe every challenge can help them grow. Imagine a seed buried in the ground. At first, it seems trapped in darkness. But that same darkness gives the seed a chance to grow. Soon it breaks through the soil and reaches the sunlight. Without that struggle, it would never become a strong tree. People grow in the same way. Difficult times often reveal strengths that easy times never can. Think about someone who loses a job. At first, it feels like a disaster. But that experience may encourage them to learn new skills. Start a business. Find a career they truly enjoy. Years later, they may realize that losing the job was the beginning of a better future. The same idea applies to learning English. Many learners are afraid to speak because they worry about making mistakes. But every conversation is an opportunity. Every mistake teaches a new lesson. Every question helps you understand more. The learners who improve the fastest are not the ones who avoid challenges. They are the ones who use challenges to become better. Whenever you face a problem, ask yourself, what opportunity is hidden inside this challenge? Maybe the opportunity is to become more patient. Maybe it is to improve your skills. Maybe it is to become stronger than you were yesterday. Sometimes the opportunity is not visible at first. You may only understand it months or even years later. That is why hope is so important. Hope allows you to keep moving, even when you cannot yet see the answer. Another powerful habit is to believe that every challenge is preparing you for something greater. Life is not trying to stop you. Very often, life is trying to teach you. Every difficult situation builds character. Every obstacle builds resilience. Every problem you solve increases your confidence. Little by little, you become the kind of person who is ready for bigger dreams and greater opportunities. Remember, problems do not define your future. Your response to them does. You cannot always choose the challenges that come into your life, but you can always choose your attitude. You can choose to learn instead of complain, to grow instead of quit, to keep moving instead of standing still. One day you will look back and realize that the problems you feared the most became the turning points of your life. They made you wiser. They made you stronger. They made you ready for the future you once dreamed about. So do not run away from problems. Face them with courage. Learn from them with humility. And use them as stepping stones toward a better life. because every problem carries the opportunity to become a stronger, wiser, and more confident version of yourself. Today, we learned something that can change the way you face every challenge in life. Problems are not your enemy. They are your teachers. They help you become stronger, wiser, and more confident. When you stay calm, you think more clearly. When you understand the real problem, you stop wasting time on the wrong solution. When you focus on solutions instead of complaints, you begin making progress. When you learn from every challenge, you grow a little stronger each day. And when you see opportunities inside difficulties, you start building a better future. Remember, life will never be free of problems. Every person faces challenges. The difference is not who has the easiest life. The difference is who keeps moving forward. As you continue learning English, you are already proving that you can solve difficult problems. Every new word you remember, every story you understand, every conversation you practice, is another challenge you have overcome. That means you are becoming stronger every day. So the next time a problem appears, do not ask, "Why is this happening to me?" Instead, ask, "What can this teach me?" That one question can change the way you think, and the way you think can change the way you live. Thank you for learning with us today. If this lesson inspired you, please like this video, share it with someone who needs encouragement, and subscribe for more easy English lessons filled with practical life wisdom. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and never stop believing in yourself. Because every problem you solve today is preparing you for the opportunities of tomorrow. And remember, a better life is not built by avoiding problems. It is built by learning how to solve them, one step at a time.